Well, hey friends, have we got a lot to catch up on? Yes, we do. Grab something to drink. Cheers. We are gonna get ready together today. Wanted to take a second to thank today's video sponsor, which is Midi Health. So some of you guys may know that I have kind of had an interesting, a little bit of a rough year medically this year, and it's kind of made me think about my body and aging and just wanting to ensure that I'm doing what I can now to make sure that I'm living a long, healthy life. I think I would rather know what's going on in my body and take action now before that becomes a problem as I get older. You know what I mean? And I feel like aging well is not something you have to do alone. I think you can find the right team, the right care, the right data. I think that can help immensely, and that's exactly what Midi Health offers. If your labs are coming back normal and you're not really feeling normal, let me tell you about Midi visits. So this is something I've personally done and I'm still doing, and I've loved it. And so I wanted to share it with you guys in case it helps some of you too. So Midi offers high quality virtual care, and they specialize in women's needs. So this is clinician-led care. It adjusts to your body, changes whether you're experiencing symptoms maybe you're not used to, you're wanting to look for answers, or you're wanting to be a little more proactive in your aging, or maybe you're just feeling like something is off. Midi tracks what matters and goes beyond basic labs. They can do checks of your hormones, thyroid, cholesterol, blood sugar, and inflammation, and they can offer you real solutions, including necessary prescriptions, blood work, testing, and labs, plus retesting so that you can see what's working and what needs to be tweaked. So not only are you able to feel the progress, but you can see the data to back it up as well. Midi visits are designed for you as you age, and they specialize in women's health, and it's insurance covered where available, which is amazing. So with my personal Midi visits, I was able to review labs, set a plan, and then retest. And I love that we're making adjustments based on data and not just guesswork. And now I feel like I have a good plan moving forward to ensure that I'm living my best life as I age. I also love that Midi is virtual. Whether you are struggling to find good care for women in your area, maybe you can't get into an office in a reasonable time frame, or you're just feeling like you're not being listened to, you will love Midi. Plus, it's super easy to schedule an appointment, ask your clinician questions and more on their portal, and they also accept insurance in all 50 states. So you can book a visit at the link on the screen. I will also have that link in a pinned comment in the description box for you. Thank you so much to Midi Health for sponsoring this part of the video. So I'm gonna throw on some of the Cocoa Kind Ceramide Lip Blur Balm. A lot of you guys love this and recommended it, and it's just, I'm enjoying it too. I mean, again, I don't think it's wildly different than other ones out there, but I do really enjoy it. The only thing is this doesn't have a scent, and I love a good scent on a lip balm. It's obviously not necessary for it to be effective, but you know. Anyhow, the focus of this video is not gonna be the makeup though. We are gonna chat. So I feel like the elephant in the room, some of you guys know, but not all of you know, is that I recently had an injury. I had a fall, and it was the dumbest thing. I was literally, like, it's not anything exciting, like I was ice skating or like doing something where an injury would be likely. It was just doing something very commonplace. I was walking out in our garage and I was trying to literally walk inside. I'd gone out to get a sparkling water. It was LaCroix, if you're curious. Wasn't worth it. So I missed the, like, there's like this 1-inch ledge in our garage that I think a lot of houses have. It's not the actual steps up to get into the house. But anyway, it runs all along the back, and then there's like a space this big from where the ledge is to the back of the garage. So I was up on it, getting something out of the fridge, walked down and was walking back, and I just hit it weird, and I kind of fell. It's funny, like, it's one of those things that in the moment, I don't actually know exactly what happened. That's what I think is the most bizarre of all. I don't remember if I like totally fell, or I think I fell on it weird. I didn't hear any like popping sound or cracking sound or anything like that. It just hurt like I'd bruised it. But when I stood up, Tyler had actually seen me do it. He was pulling the car out or in or something. He watched it happen, and I'm going, you know, like, ooh. He is watching, but he's kind of like stopped the car and he's thinking, oh, well, maybe it's just a bruise. And I'm telling him, it's fine, nothing's broken, it just hurts really bad. So he gets out of the car eventually, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to stand up. So he's trying to brace me, and I'm like, I cannot put any weight on this foot. I'm like, oh no. So we ice it, do all the things. Next day I get into like an orthopedic urgent care, which I had a great experience. And they got me in, did an x-ray, and showed me on the x-ray, I can pop the picture up, there are 2 little fracture lines on my 5th metatarsal, which is like your pinky toe, but not the toe. It's the part, the bone that kind of keeps going out into your foot. Because actually all 5 of my toes I can move and bend just fine. There's no pain there. So anyway, so yeah, the side of my left foot basically. And the good news is it wasn't displaced or anything, because that can sometimes you'd take a different route with recovery. So they put a boot on me. I'll pop a little picture up if you're wanting to see. And I'm getting around, baby. I mean, you know, life goes on, but it certainly has thrown a wrench in things with the holidays and, you know, plans you have in your mind. And I will say this, like, this obviously injury, I'll be fine. It's like 4 to 6 weeks, and then you see how you're doing. You might take the boot off. I have crutches for the first few weeks, and you know, this, that, and the other. I will say, okay, a couple of thoughts I've had now from this life experience, because I, as an adult, have not like broken a bone or had any serious injuries. As a kid, I broke my arm, like falling and catching myself after we were like skating. But as an adult, I really haven't had anything like this happen. Obviously, I know many people have. And it's interesting, the people I know in my life, when they found out, like when we were texting, the people that have gone through this kind of thing as an adult were very empathetic, and they were like, how are you doing mentally? And I found that so interesting, because the first night, I feel like sometimes that is part of what makes things like this difficult, is when you instantly, your life is just going to be different. And in my case, it's not severe. My life is going to be different for a month and a half. And yeah, it stinks to have to change plans or whatever. And you know, your day-to-day looks different for a while. It really changed my perspective on a lot of things when it comes to people that have more severe injuries or more severe things happen in their life. And then of course it gets the wheels turning and me thinking about, it's so heavy. I know, like, this is way too heavy for what we're talking about. Okay. But it just got me thinking about how brief life can be. And not that this, okay, I'm not comparing it to this. I'm just saying it got me thinking about that, and how you really never know what your next moment will look like. And you never know when you might hurt yourself or get incredibly sick or have an accident. And it's a scary thought. In another sense, I feel like it can be really a good reminder of, like, you know, the minor inconveniences you have in life. And I would include that, like me breaking my foot. It's an inconvenience, but it is so minor compared to other things going on, other things that could have happened, etc. So it's a good perspective, but also just the reminder that life really is short and you never know when things can happen. And so anyway, we don't need to keep going down that line of thinking, but just something that was kind of on my mind I wanted to share with you guys. I don't know if you've ever had a similar experience and it kind of changed your perspective on things far, far beyond what actually happened. But anyway, I just used the Merit Uniform Tinted Moisturizer and then the Estee Lauder Foundation and this new Make It Forever Concealer. I'm still trying out this concealer. I think it's nice. I need to keep testing it to see how I feel long term. So I had gotten a lot of questions from you guys asking, because if you heard, we shared a lot more about this in real time in our Vlogmas series, which is going on right now on Tyler's channel. I'll link the playlist if you want to go. You can start from the beginning. We're vlogging all December long. If you are into my vlogs here, you will love those because they're the same thing, just a lot of them. And it's me and Tyler together. So anyway, but yeah, I've gotten a lot of questions asking how I'm healing, how I'm doing, and I'm doing fine. Honestly, mentally, I'm good. I should probably be better about putting my feet up and relaxing, but I don't know if you can relate, but I think a lot of you probably can. I don't do well not like just sitting there and being pampered, if you will. I really don't. And I can enjoy it for a spell, but I think at the end of the day, like when I know my kids need something or whatever, like it is very hard for me to sit still. So I'm still getting stuff done. I did get a rolly knee scooter and that has helped a lot, immensely, I would say. I can roll around at least in the kitchen, get the kids breakfast and stuff, like doing things like that need to be done. But I have to say Tyler has been unbelievable in this whole thing. I mean, if I just wanted to sit on the couch for the next 4 weeks and have him, he would absolutely do it. And in fact, I think he would prefer that, like that, you know, he won't, but it's just a lot when you have 2 kids, especially like a 3-year-old that she understands what's going on, but you know. Anyway, I'm gonna use this CoverGirl little eye enhancer today. I think that'd be pretty with the pink I got going on. But before I do that, I need to put something in my brows. Okay, so let's chat more. That's the big update in my life right now. It's just been quite a year. Mila Sapphire asked, would you ever get a cat? No, because I love cats and Tyler loves cats. My daughters would love a cat. First of all, sweet Pinocchio, while he's with us, he would be terrified. He's stayed with people that have cats before, like they've dog sat him, and it terrified him. So probably not anytime in the next few years, but then also my mom is allergic to cats. So I would like her to still be able to come over to our house. So it's just not something in the cards for us anytime soon. So, but Tyler's mom just recently got a cat, Blue Nana. I know some of you guys know her from the vlogs and our Disney stuff. She just got a kitty cat and the girls have loved going over to play with the cat. The kitty is so cute. She got her from a shelter and it's totally awesome. So that has been a nice little bright spot. And like I said, the girls, especially Genevieve, have loved going over there and playing with the cat. So they're kind of getting their cat fix in that way, which is just darling. My hair is a little bit different. If you saw my vlog, I think it'll be up. It was actually pre-filmed and I was giggling. Today I was actually like watching through it and I'm gonna be making the thumbnail and stuff. And it was pre-filmed in November and it was sweet Jessie before she knew she was gonna break her foot. And I'm like, I should have appreciated it more, you know? But yeah, in that I show me the before and after of my hair. And to you, it might not look super different. To me, it really does. It's actually darker. There's a little bit, especially in the sun, you can see in the vlog better. There's a little bit of like redness to it, which I really like. And we got rid of a lot of the dead. And I'm following now the Abby Young method. She's a YouTuber here. I know most of you guys know who she is. She seems lovely, but her method, I mean, she gives advice and products and she has like this step-by-step thing of like how to grow out your hair and basically by eliminating / preventing damage and helping with that and bond repair and all that. And in that way, you can get your hair to grow longer and healthier. And so I definitely in the past few years have experienced breakage and I've gone through obviously different hormonal shifts in the last few years. So it's just, I feel like my whole system's been out of whack. And so I'm trying that out. I'm still early on. I'm like literally week 1. I'm already feeling like, you probably can't tell because I feel like it's, especially with when I do my hair like this, I feel like it doesn't always look the most hydrated, but my ends here compared to how they usually look, this is a difference. And so anyway, we'll try it out. If you've tried out the Abby Young method, let me know your thoughts. Did you love it? Did it work? Are you trying out now? This is such an interesting question. Marley lately asked, what is it like YouTubing your life? Do your girls ever dislike it? They don't see us filming stuff much. Genevieve's old enough where she knows what we're doing. She understands. You hear them in the background sometimes, but half the time they're in another room playing and they don't even know we're filming a minute in the kitchen or something. Or we're mostly filming when they're just not in the room. They're on another floor. They're with, with Tyler maybe while I'm doing this. Or like in school or preschool. So they don't see, I would say 95% of the time, they don't even see what we're doing. And honestly, that's how I would prefer it. Like Genevieve understands, she knows what YouTube is. She understands what we do on a, broad scale. So I did this color here and then I'm gonna do this like pink in the crease. I think that'll look nice. So I guess all that to say, I don't think it bothers them because they generally don't see it. And they also can understand that this is, especially her, this is our job. Ooh, I like this one here on the end is a nice, pretty kind of pearly, I think kind of with a pinkish tint, but more, it's just pretty. I'll link this one below. I really like this. Easy to work with too. Kayla K. Ryan said, how do you coordinate clothing for family photos? Interesting question. We just got family photos taken. My sister-in-law is an amazing photographer and they're in town. So she got a little studio space. You can like rent, I didn't even know this was a thing. You can rent a studio space that's already decorated and has lights and stuff. And then, so she took our family photos. She took my sister's family photos, very Christmassy and cute. And so I just went through, this was kind of last minute that this all happened. Literally on Thanksgiving, she was like, hey, I'm renting out this space tomorrow. Do you want family photos? And I was like, yes. So I had, like a matter of hours with what we had at home to kind of coordinate. So I was texting her. So my first advice, I have 2 pieces of advice. 1, ask the photographer what they recommend. It is not a dumb question. In fact, it's one of the most important questions and they will have an answer. And so start there. But I would say too, my sister-in-law, the photographer, said neutrals with a pop of color. So I took that as, you know, pick one color that you want to be kind of the pop. So in this case, I was thinking Christmas. I was like maybe maroon, maybe like a deep green, something, especially based on what the studio looked like. She had sent me a picture. And that's always been her advice, neutrals with a pop of color. So we ended up pulling it off with some things we had, and that generally has worked really, really well. In any of the other family photos we've gotten, that's what we've done. We've taken her advice for neutrals with maybe a pop of color, and it works really well. And like I've also heard to do maybe a mix of textures. So for this one, we just got, one of our daughters had like a lacy dress on. I had like a sweater material on, but then a silk skirt. You know what I mean? Like kind of mixing and matching different textures as well. Janice Choi said, what are you doing for teacher gifts this year? Help. Oh, okay. So for those new around here, I taught before I had kids, and then here we are. I've been doing YouTube since then, and who knows, my future, I might go back to teaching. Who knows? But I think this one's almost run out, this liquid liner. I mean, gift cards. But here's the thing. The other thing I've realized is like coffee mugs and things like that are great, but teachers, especially if they've been doing it a while, get a lot of coffee mugs, cute water cups. And it's not to say you can't get them. It's not to say that they won't appreciate them. They will, trust me. But just something to keep in mind. So sometimes I'll get them something for the classroom, like Etsy has really cute, I can link the ones I've bought. This is something I bought Genevieve's teacher this year. Personalized Post-it note holders that say like Mrs. Whatever, and they're really, really cute. There's a lot of different styles. They're not expensive, and it's useful. It's something cute, especially if you've been like, I've been in, of course, her classroom, and I understand her vibe, so I'm like, okay, I know the perfect thing. So it's at least useful for them. Not very expensive, like I said. The other thing I have done in the past few years is whatever their initial is, whether it's their first name, last name, or both, getting something with their initials on it. So Amazon has a lot of cute, makeup bags where you can get their like JB, okay, I'm right, JB on it or J. Cute totes that can be useful, like a canvas tote that's kind of nice, maybe with their initials on it. I've realized I try not to get everything that's just teachery, like Mrs. Whatever, like on a tote, because sometimes they want something just for them that's apart from their identity as a teacher. You know what I mean? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm thinking along those lines that teaching is a big part of their life, but it's not their whole life. So I don't know. But at the end of the day, a gift card, even if it's $5 or $10, you guys, is amazing. I say this over and over again, teachers do not get paid enough. They don't get paid enough. So things like that, I think, are really thoughtful. Even if all you can swing is $5, it's useful. If you know they like coffee, get them a Starbucks, Dunkin', whatever gift card, Target, Amazon, all of those kinds of things are useful. Amazon is great because if they want, they can get something for themselves, or if they want to get something for the classroom to use, they can do that. You know what I mean? And they kind of have, it's the best of both worlds. Candy and things like that. Like sometimes I'll throw in like a nice chocolate bar, like a nice chocolate bar. But a lot of times I don't do sweets because you just never know what their eating preferences are. And I feel like the holidays, you end up with so many sweets anyway, with Christmas cookies and stuff, that they probably don't need it, like literally, because there are so many sweets around them. But it's also a nice thing. Like if you're like, want something else with it, a nice chocolate bar or something, I think could be nice. A lot of schools do these, and you just have to ask the front desk or email the, front desk staff. But a lot of them have a binder or whatever. Now it's like a Google Drive, I'm sure, but of teachers' favorites, like their favorite color, their favorite stores, their favorite drink, their favorite candy bar. And that's really helpful. I feel like most schools do that nowadays. So definitely worth asking if you're not sure. And if they don't yet have that, if you ask, it'll give them the idea, and maybe the next year they will. Make everyone's life easier. So I used, by the way, the Kosas Soul Gazer liner, and then, nope, not that. The L'Oreal Infallible Precision Felt Liner. Julie Ball asks, any makeup trends you are ready to see die in 2025? Honestly, not really. I feel like we've kind of entered an age where you kind of just do whatever you want. And maybe it's just my own like literal personal age where I just don't care. I'm gonna do what I think that I like on myself. So like whether, for example, winged liner is in or out, well, I don't really care because I like the way it looks on me. I feel like it, so you know what I mean? It's one of those things, but I kind of feel like that's where we are. Like a lot of people are just like, wherever you want. If you want to wear no makeup and you feel it looks great on you, fantastic. If you want to wear full face, high coverage, tons of eyeshadow, and you feel you look best in that, great. Like, I just don't think people care. It's kind of like the jeans debate over the years. You know, people are like, okay, now baggier jeans are in, and now this barrel jeans are in, now this. I think we've entered an era where it doesn't matter, because I've also heard now skinny jeans are back. I'm like, okay, y'all were just saying skinny jeans were out like 2 seconds ago. So the trends are moving at warp speed. I think because of that, it doesn't really matter. And not that trends don't matter. We all know that, you know. But it's always interesting to know what people consider in and out, or let me say I find it interesting, especially given my job here, you know. But nonetheless, I kind of like that the trend nowadays is wear whatever you feel like wearing. If you feel good in it, who really cares? Who cares? And like I said, I think the trend's moving faster and faster and being recycled faster and faster, honestly, is great, because that basically makes it so that nothing is trending because everything is trending. You know what I mean? I think there's some truth to that. I don't think I'm wrong. The Berryfield asked, what is your favorite holiday tradition your family does? Love you and your channel. Thank you so much. Okay, the first one that comes to mind is so I am one of 6 kids. We lived in like a split level house growing up. So there was like, all of the floors were small. It was like the top floor, the middle floor, or, you know, ground floor, and then the basement, but it was only like 4 or 5 steps up, 4 or 5 steps down. You know what I mean? Anyway, I never knew that was called a split level until I was like grown and out of the house. You know what I mean? We'd moved and then I was grown. So I was like, oh, that's what that's called. So we would always have to line up by age. I think it was youngest to oldest on the stairs, and Santa would have delivered the gifts in our little basement. And so we'd have to wait on the upper stairs where we couldn't see, and Mom and Dad would get up, they'd get their coffee, their robe on, and they would go check to see if Santa had come. And that was the most magical time of my life ever. That was so exciting. And so now that I have kids, that is exactly what we do. They wait at the top of the stairs. Mommy and Daddy go down, get our coffee, make sure Santa has come. He's never failed us yet, thank goodness. And what made me really, really happy is that Genevieve just the other day said, Mom, my favorite thing that I am just so looking forward to is when we wait on the stairs and you guys go check to see if Santa has come. I'm like, oh, girl, me too. So that was it's cool to see. I think, and I know some of you guys watching, don't have kids yet, or maybe you don't plan to at all, or maybe your kids are really young. I think when you're in your kids are very young phase, the holidays are fun. And by very young, I mean a baby, 1, 2, maybe even 3. The holidays are fun and exciting because it's your first time being a parent and you're just excited to, for it. But you don't get the reaction you're maybe hoping because you got a baby or they're 2, they don't really understand. But it has been the most magical thing ever as they have gotten older to have them recognize the traditions that we have, or ones that I didn't even mean to start, but to them, it's what happens every year. This is what we do, And that has been one of my favorite things about parenthood, period, is that with all of the holidays, even, Easter, even St. Patrick's Day, like she was like, oh, I remember last year we did like a little scavenger hunt in the house. I'm like, oh yeah. They remember things. So when they get older, just you wait is I guess what I'm trying to say. If you've got very young kids or a baby and you're like, oh man, this isn't quite as exciting as I thought it would be, I promise you're nearly there. It will be. I watched The Wizard of Oz recently. Boy, that movie holds up. It is just as entertaining as I remembered it. And I watched it a ton as a kid. I think my mom had like taped it off the TV when we were younger, something like that on a VHS. Oh man, it's just so good. And my mom was telling me she remembered watching it as a kid. Movies like that, they're amazing. And it's so cool. Like now watching it with my kids, we sat and watched it together and they both were just completely enraptured by it. And what a cool thing that a movie can withstand the test of time. Kids enjoy it even today anyway. And then of course, you sprinkle a little Wicked around it and it's even more exciting, but yeah, absolutely love it. Shakursmi said, how are your girls handling your new foot boot and need to slow down? Pretty well, actually better than I think I thought. But the one darling thing is that Genevieve, it's hard to see your parent not being, there's a lot of us can relate to this in more ways than one, but it's hard to see your parent not being their strong vital selves. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just different, especially for that age. I think it's really off-putting. And so Gigi she'll keep looking over at me and go, "You'll be okay." I'm like, "Honey, I know." I'm sitting there making dinner like, I know. Like, it's sweet because I think that's her way of coping with like this being weird. And she was very concerned that I wouldn't be better by Christmas. I'm like, "Honey, I'm okay. Like, nothing has changed, But anyway, it is interesting. But Felicity this morning, I was rolling around on my knee scooter and she was like, "I'll help you, Mom." And she was just putting her hand on my back while I rolled to where I was going. I was like, "Thanks, honey." Like, it's very sweet. So I think it's good. It's in a weird way, really good for them to see that, like, I don't know. It's showing a side of them I haven't really gotten to see, which is very sweet. And they seem to be, knock on wood, pretty aware to like get things off the floor, off the stairs, and that's teaching them a good lesson. Like, people can trip on this stuff. You got to move it. Brittany May Beauty asks, stocking stuffer ideas for a 2-year-old toddler. Woo! I would say water wows. I can link a couple of my ideas below because what will happen is they will come to me after I'm done filming and I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, those little popper things, with like the little circles." If you have a Tony or a Yoto, Tony characters or Yoto cards, obviously that doesn't apply to everyone, but if you do, that would be a great one. If you want to hear more of like just traditional gift ideas for kids and toddlers and babies, I will link my gift ideas playlist. I do the kids part near the end, and there are ones that have withstood the test of time that I highly recommend. Definitely check that out. But yeah, I'll put a few more stocking stuffer ideas down below because off the top of my head, I can't think of any, but I know when I sit down, I will think of a bunch more. How are you guys doing this holiday season? How are you holding up? I feel like this season can be full of light and full of darkness, depending on so many factors in your own life. I think this season can have a lot of mixed feelings for most people, but I hope you're doing okay. EC Mochi Lover asks, what habits have brought you peace this year? What a question. What a great question. Praying. Reading the Bible. Obviously, this is coming from my personal perspective. So, reading the Bible has been actually a bigger source of comfort than it ever really has been in my life. I mean, I'm sure a big part of it is that we have had, this foot aside, okay, a lot of trials this year in many, many different ways. And I think leaning on God has helped me more than it ever has in my life. I feel like it truly has made me grow closer to God. I mean, obviously there are some things I wish, and again, not talking about my foot, there are some things that have happened that I wish had never happened, but there are just some things you just can't change. And, you have to make sense of them in some way. And for me, the way I have made sense of some things is through prayer and reading the Bible and devotions. I actually just got this new devotional. I've just started and I'm really enjoying it. And I think it's like a 100-day devotional. So it's not a whole year. If you're interested, if you're looking for a new one, especially with the new year, I can say what it is below. I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. And I think it's kind of exactly what I need right now. And it's perfect timing as we reach the end of the year and start a new cycle the next year, But back to what you said. So what habits have brought you peace? The other thing is I've realized so much that a lot of things that may be bothering you in the moment are so temporary. Not everything, but a lot of things are so temporary. And when you zoom out and look at the grand scheme of things, I say that a lot, but I think it a lot. When you zoom out and look at the grand scheme of things, a lot of our trials in life are a blip on the radar. They're such a small part of our lives. And I think when you can change your perspective a bit, it can help bring you a little bit more peace. Getting outside has brought me a lot of peace. Going on walks and working out, although that's a little different now for me, but not forever. That has helped a lot. Gosh, I love this blush. Is that Revlon? Revlon, right? Yeah. No, Maybelline. Close, but not at all. I do feel like I have to put a lot on, but I really like the finished look. Like you can't really screw it up, So the mascara, by the way, I realized the mascara I used was the Makeup by Mario one. This is getting pretty old, so it's getting pretty dry. It's not bad, but I wouldn't say anyone needs to spend their money on this. There's better at the drugstore. And now it's just super dry, but I think a big part of that is that it's just getting older. And then the bronzer I used, of course, is my beloved one from NARS, the cream one. And then the Fit Me blush, that's in the shade 20. I love that if you're near my skin tone. And then the under eye powder I use is from number 7, which I am definitely enjoying. This is me, Tara, said, how do you filter negativity, i.e. social media? It can be hard, huh? I mean, for anyone, not just someone that does what I do where I'm sharing a lot on the internet. I just realized that we're not for everyone, and we can't possibly be for everyone. And once I kind of accepted that there will always be something anyone says that will upset someone else, even if it was misconstrued, or just differing ways of living, you know, I mean, the judgment that is passed on the internet, I mean, people judge everyone for everything. It is just part of social media, and it obviously has become so normal to just voice your opinion about someone's life because you can just comment it, let them know what you think about X, Y, and Z. And while it's kind of cool that we live in an era where you can do that, it also obviously can be detrimental in a lot of ways. And so I don't think people filter out inner thoughts anymore. I think they just say whatever they're thinking. But once I kind of accepted that I don't need to please everyone, I don't need everyone to approve of how I'm choosing to live my life, it certainly lifted a huge burden because I've been doing this for 12 years. I've dealt with this for a very long time. And so anyway, I don't know if that's helpful or the answer you wanted, but that's just my personal thoughts. My Rare Beauty highlighter has seen better days, that's for sure. I'm gonna throw a little of that on. I'm trying to build up my want to read list for 2026 and figure out okay, what do I want to read next year? My want to read list is very long, okay. But I need to kind of curate that and put it in an order so I have an idea or a game plan, because I feel like sometimes I'll read books, a bunch of them in a row, and they're not even ones that were high on the priority, but they were available at the library, whatever. And so I read them, but then I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time reading these books that I didn't really want to read that maybe were okay. I want to favor the ones I'm really wanting to read. And so let me know if you have any books. What was your #1 book this year that you read? Tyler and I are planning to do our end of the year. We've done this the past few years, and I know some of you guys enjoy it, and I love that, where we share all of our books we read this year and our thoughts on them, our reviews, if we'd recommend them or not, etc. I will link last year's below if you want to check it out. It was so much fun to film. We'll definitely plan to do that this year too. I'm not going to throw on a lippy because honestly, I just feel like wearing lip balm today. Okay. But, ooh, maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll throw on this one. I do like this one from Naturium. It's their Fido Glow Shimmer and Cosmic. I've been putting this on top of lipstick, but I think it's really pretty on its own. It's kind of got a peachy tint to it, but it looks really, really great over a neutral lippy because it does add that kind of shimmer to it. Yeah, big fan. Anyhow, all right, well, I hope you enjoyed. Another thanks to Midi for sponsoring a part of this video. You can book your Age Well visit at the link I'm showing you here on the screen. I will also have that clickable down in the pinned comment in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. If you are into this style of content, I do this once a month. I hope you'll stick around, subscribe. Check us out on Vlogmas. We're vlogging all December long. We've been having a lot of fun, and I know you guys are enjoying that too. So like I said earlier, if you are into my vlogs here on my channel, you will love it. I'll link it below. Check that out next. And otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, friends.